I've hunted around the house for all the money I've made this year online, in particular that which I've made passively, all to share that with you. Yes, it's for you. Where in this video I'll show you how much money I made, where I made it, how it performed to last year, and the effort it required. And the total amount is in here, in cash. Actually, it's just a prop. See? Not real, but it does represent how much I earned. But just keep that between you and me. So the total amount is in here, and I have a couple of bonus earnings too, which aren't passive. Aren't you lucky to get all of that, eh? But before I go into how I earned this sum, I need to give you two quick caveats. Number one, I'm sharing this information to encourage and support others to earn incomes in this way. And number two, the total may not be enormous like you might hear from others on similar ventures. Instead, my aim is to start from humble beginnings and grow that to something larger. And so my total may be far more relatable to what you can earn, particularly if you're just starting out. Right, now that's out the way, I'm going to make these earnings magically disperse around the house simply to force me out of my chair. Now let's go hunt for them. Now these first earnings didn't seem to travel very far, and are some of the lowest earnings of the income streams that I've used this year. So these earnings are with Shutterstock, where last year I earned $151, but it's been a lot less this year at just $64.87. The other income streams will all be increasing in value. That's disappointing, but considering I've done nothing to maintain it or expand it, I'm content with it. However, I dug into this in a little bit more detail to find out why this might be the case, as there are some worrying headwinds with stock photography, particularly with Shutterstock. As it turns out, I got 161 downloads this year, which averaged at 39 cents per download. And that compares with last year at 204 downloads at an average of 48 cents per download. So in fact, I got fewer downloads and the average was lower too this year. That explains why this is smaller than I expected. But I also think there are some other reasons which cause lower earnings and downloads. And one of those headwinds is the partnering up of Shutterstock and OpenAI, which means that in the future, Shutterstock could be providing AI-generated images rather than those given by contributors. I think there might be some time though before that kicks in, when AI generates images like this. Note that these hands and fingers aren't quite anatomically correct. Let's bank it and move on. And spoiler alert, the next income stream is also with stock photography, and don't worry, there are some income streams that aren't with stock images. I found where the next earnings are. And these earnings are from Adobe Stock with a much better $227.83. That compared to last year's $184, where again, I didn't upload any more images or do any maintenance on the platform. What's interesting is that my Adobe Stock portfolio is smaller than my Shutterstock portfolio, at just 125 images. I definitely feel more comfortable with Adobe Stock, where the average earning per download has been higher than with Shutterstock, for example, over the last couple of years. This year I got 240 downloads and 96 cents per download. Higher than Shutterstock, as you can see. Banked, and we can move on, where this next one gets a bit of variety in and has done much better than last year too. And it is one that I'm keen to keep developing and get it to become more lucrative. Now this next passive income stream is with Skillshare, and I'm reasonably happy with this one, as they're not exactly mainstream classes and they were recycled from my old Udemy courses. So Skillshare generated $340.82, up from $76 from last year. Now last year's sum is split into two, as $20 came from referrals and $56 came from minutes of class viewed. Instead, I've only had earnings from my views on my classes and no referrals. Referrals have also changed, so I can't comment on how much you can earn from those. In terms of effort required, it has again been quite small. I've not done anything to put new classes onto Skillshare, but I have had to do a little bit of maintenance. You see, social proofing is important to students enrolling in your classes. So when someone decided to start a discussion about me, labeling me as diabolical, I needed to sort that out. This is what that looked like. So I messaged Skillshare to get it deleted, waited a bit and got it resolved. Probably 10 minutes of work this year for $340.82. In it goes, and the hunt is on for the last passive income stream. And if you've seen any of my other videos, then you'll probably have guessed that this is with Udemy. And as you can see, it's rather a lot more than the others, where it earned $1,416.52, which is more than the other three combined. But unfortunately, it didn't earn as much as last year. Last year's earnings were $1,975, so about 70% of last year's earnings. However, I've done almost nothing again with maintenance this year on Udemy, so I'm not exactly upset. I had to answer a few student questions, but they were ones which were quick and easy to answer. Tossing up those income streams gives a total of $2,050 for 2022, which is down a bit on last year, which had a total of $2,971. And that's a bit of a disappointment from my point of view. But I think there's a good reason for it. And that's because I've been trying out other ways of earning, including Amazon Shopper Panel, which earned me $60.03 this year. And this is the first of the non-passive income streams. But it is really easy to do. There's also Profilic, where I've earned a little bit from some of the few surveys I've done at $34.20. But I've put very little effort into that. And the biggest income stream that I've been focusing on hasn't got to a monetizable position as of yet, and that's with YouTube. And that's on a grand total of $0 so far. If you've stuck around to the end, then perhaps you found this video interesting, and perhaps you would consider subscribing. It can help me, and you never know. Perhaps in a year's time, I'll be speaking about how much you can earn on YouTube with a small following. If you want to get into earning online and passive income, then have a look at this video for what I feel is one of the best ways to get into it.